incidents, including the incidents on the road, has been relatively quiet, and people have been behaving in this province since we have launched this Operation Festive Season on the 30th of October, which we did here in Durban. It was officiated by the Premier of the province, Mr. Tamingo Doli. The operation started, as I said, Minister, on the 15th of October as a festive season operation that's going to run until the end of January. It's been in different phases. The phase one, our children that came down to the province to celebrate exams, they did so, did not have much of the incidents during that period, and the writing of the final exams also went very smooth. And we are now in full phase on the festive mode, where Holy started in NF December. And standing before us, Minister, is multidisciplinary teams, and not only all those that are participating in the operations, but just few members. These are men and women of different discipline, law that are assisting us in keeping this province safe. Understand and at large, all inhabitants as a constitution, to also protect those that are visiting the province. Roll out that plan and to make sure that we deliver a safer environment for the community at large. We have opportunity of receiving additional human resources. 194 new constables. They joined us at the end of November, which helped us to increase our policing on the Minister. You will notice when you do the walkabout or drive around the province that you're going to see an increased number of visibility of police officers. It's all because of these new recruits that has helped us to increase the number. And I must appreciate the National Commission for having helped us by allocating these big numbers in KwaZulu-Natal. I would have loved to parade the entire 1,500 of them on parade this morning, but as they are here for the job, they are out protecting our citizens out there. That's why we did not see the need of bringing them on parade. They will get a message, as a minister is going to be delivering the message now. Minister, the festival has been pretty much quiet in terms of crime. It's all as a result of the police deployment visibility out there, but not that alone. The community of the province of KwaZulu-Natal have been helping us a lot in terms of sharing information. They've been eyes and ears for the law enforcement as we roll out this security plan. They are helping us in sharing information about people in possession of firearms. They are sharing information about wanted criminals and those that are law breakers. And that has helped us a lot, Minister, to try and curb crime. As I said, from the 15th of October, as we are running operation to date, we have processed a total number of 59,201 suspects in all our registers in the province for different crimes. And some of them will be getting fines and walking away with those fines. And some of them are in custody and they're going through our courts as we're processing them. So during this same period, police have recovered over 500 firearms, Minister, 575 firearms. This is counting up to yesterday. I don't count some of the recoveries that has happened this morning. And that includes over 6,000 rounds of ammunition that a member have recovered. So this goes to the police officers, law enforcement officers, community at large, working together has helped us to mitigate the number of incidents that will have occurred had these firearms been used to commit crimes. Over 500 firearms, over 6,000 rounds of ammunition. If one round is equal to a life of a person, we will have saved over 6,000 lives, as it were, since we started this festive season. And this has helped us a lot, Minister, as we are fighting this crime. The efforts that the community are putting, helping us together with the sister department, the private sector, especially the business against crime, by deploying the resources from the security companies that are also eyes and ears that are helping us to fight crime, has been very commendable. So, Minister, as I welcome you into this province during this festive season, allow me to say that we need to have upright police officers in our midst, those that are willing to fight crime. those that took an oath and they are committed to the oath of office that they've taken. So we are proud, Minister, to announce the behavior of our police officers. Although few of them have been found in the wrong side of the law by driving under influence of liquor, and they've been arrested as a result in roadblocks, their fellow colleagues arrested them. But there's one incident that I want to highlight in the main of a station commander of Tongaat. We've seen criminals that were arrested. They were arrested for a crime of being in a position of an AK assault rifle. This happened on the 20th of December last week. Minister, this station commander did not accept the bribery, the money that they were offering to him, but instead he opened a case against them to make sure that there's additional charges on top of them being found in the position of an assault rifle. But they were charged with additional charges of trying to bribe a police officer. So it's police officers that are upright like that that we commend, that we will want to encourage to have in this organization of ours. So to make sure that we don't tolerate any lawlessness in our province. So this commander, station commander, led by example, being a station commander behaving like that, I'm sure every police officer that works in that station, they learn something good from their station commander, that they must be upright, they must protect the lives, they must enforce the law, and live to the oath of office that they've taken. So it is a kind of police officers that our society needs. It's a kind of officers that the executive authority, the minister and the cabinet have been looking for to make sure that we perform that which the government is expecting from us. So it is such action that we want to encourage from the rest of the colleagues that are here before us. As I conclude, Minister, allow me to mention that as much as we strive to prevent crime, as it is instructed to us by the Constitution, more often than not, we find ourselves faced with immediate danger on the ground, where criminals don't hesitate to pull out firearms and threaten our members. In this period, since we started the festive season, we've had a couple of shooting incidents where criminals have been engaging the police. And I want to highlight one specific district of Mkhwanazi. And this has been an incident that has been involving the members that are deployed from the National Office. Minister, the National Commission approved the budget. Jerome Sigidi allocated members to assist us in the province to help us with the vehicle crime, amongst others, in the northern side of our province, in the area of Amangus. The members that are deployed there, they've had 2 shooting incidents in this period that I'm talking about, where a total of 6 suspects were fatally wounded in the shootout with the police in 2 separate incidents. Fortunately, our members applied their training skills. They survived those attacks as the police officers were enforcing their law, and they were able to protect themselves. So it's not only that, there's many other individual incidents that has happened across the province, which shows that while we are protecting the citizens, there are those that want to take the war towards the police. And we've been fortunate that our members have been able to protect themselves. So these hardcore criminals were wanted for murder, amongst others, and many other violent crimes that they were sought for in that area. So the 3 terms of life imprisonment that were handed over to the suspects in Pietermaritzburg. There are many suspects that have been arrested in the province, but I want to highlight this one, where triple murder suspects in Pietermaritzburg were handed 3 terms of life imprisonment. And this was as a result of the murder of one taxi boss, Samgelo Dumisa, who was killed in the area of Cachalia by these senseless criminals. It is encouraging to see the court coming to the party and helping to convict the hardened criminal during this period. While people think that the courts are closed, they are not closed. They are hard at work in processing those that we are arresting. So people must rest assured that if they do wrong, they are going to be taken through the system of justice in order to answer for their evil deeds. So these actions, Minister, boost the morale of our members to see that the courts indeed do prosecute those that we arrest. So they encourage members to arrest more. So we will continue, Minister, with these high visibility operations. We will continue visiting the areas of interest where the citizens are visiting. In the main, the shopping centers, the beaches. We will be there through the passages. In the sky, we're going to be there in patrolling our skies. will be there in our waters, both on the coast as well as in the inland, different dams, the rivers where people are entertaining themselves. We will avail ourselves to make sure that we protect them and create a safer environment during this festive season. Having said that, with few remarks, Minister, I want to welcome you into the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and this is the parade before you. I want to thank my address on this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, General, for the nice word of welcome and outlining the good work that has been done by our women and men in blue in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. General, allow then me to call on stage our National Commissioner, Commissioner Masemola, to do the purpose of the day. He will then tell us why are we gathered here. Thereafter, he will introduce our functionary, the Minister of the Police. Over to you, General.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Minister of Police, Mr. Cachalia, the Deputy National Commissioner for Policing, Lieutenant General Musigiri, the Provincial Commissioner of this province, KZN, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi and your deputies, senior managers present, members on parade from all law enforcement agencies, and of course, members of the media. We have entered the peak of the holiday season as far as it is encouraged that men and women of law enforcement are still holding the fort in preventing and combating crime. As management, we appreciate all of you for the dedication and hard work that you do. Today's oversight visit by the Minister form part of the Safer Festive Season Operations visit that we do across the country in all other provinces to evaluate and check how are these operations being implemented. On the eve of this Christmas, we wish to assure the nation that all hands are on deck by all law enforcement agencies across the country to make sure that we operationalize the festive season operation. As management, we are convinced that this operational plan is being executed quite well, and currently all law enforcement agencies continue to respond decisively to crime in all corners of the country. Nationally, in terms of what we have done up to so far since the implementation of the Safer Festive Season in October, nationally, we have arrested 172,560 suspects arrested from the start of the festive season up to as of yesterday. During this period, we have seized 1,507 illegal and unlicensed firearms. We have closed nationally 5,228 illegal shippings and or taverns. 635 stolen and or hijacked vehicles has been recovered. And in this province, there is a number of quite good successes: 541 illegal firearms, 432 handguns, of which 48 rifles, and they've arrested more than 15,000 suspects for various offenses, ranging from murder, sexual offenses, and other conduct crimes. As December is characterized by a lot of shopping, we urge the community to be quite vigilant and make sure that you don't get robbed or your money be taken away from you either through robbery or through cybercrime. So let's look after ourselves and make sure that as we descend to holiday destinations, we are all looking after ourselves. And to members on parade, as you know, we unfortunately won't be on leave now. We have to continue to make sure that the people that are in this province are safe. Take note that we will work continuously until the festive season is over. Don't forget the object of the Constitution that requires you, Section 205, that requires you to prevent, combat, and investigate crime, maintain public order, protect the inhabitants of the republic and their property, and also uphold and enforce the law. As we go out in doing that, let's make sure that those that commit GBV, we prioritize them. If it means Christmas behind bars, let it be, because people must behave, people must enjoy the festive season in a very orderly manner, and make sure that there is no one that get in the way of anyone's life. I urge all of you to look after yourself, look after your colleague, your body, make sure that we protect one another at all times as we go along protecting the society. This province, I've seen, in terms of crime, you are reducing crime quite well. I saw the contract crime is down by 9% overall. Nationally, it's 18% down overall. So you are contributing towards the national picture. So continue doing the way you are doing. And of course, also make use of those 1,950 something new constables that have arrived in this province. Make use of them, because that's a share that a year and a half ago you gave to Western Cape. It was Western Cape that the past 3 years or so, they were receiving over 900 per year, and now it's you. So make use of them, deploy the resources accordingly, and let's look after the resources that we are given so that they can be there to be used in the future. And of course, the public also, let's look after ourselves. As I said, let's not be over too excited and end up like I think we saw the video that was viral of a certain lady that was shooting a gun on air. So if you do that, Section 120 of the Firearms Control Act, Act 60 of 2000, provides that if you shoot a gun in public, you will face consequences. If you shoot a gun in a manner that endangers the life of other people in public, you will face consequences. In the very same case, we have opened a case against that person, and after investigation, the case will be taken to the prosecutor to decide whether to charge or not to charge. It doesn't matter even if what you use is a blank gun or a toy gun. If you use it in such a way that you endanger other people's lives, be it a toy gun or a blank gun, you will be charged. So let's make sure that we behave as the community enjoys their festive season. Let's drink more water than this other stuff that will cause us problem. And to all of you, men and women in blue and all other law enforcement agencies in this province, let's go and make sure that we continue protecting the people over the festive season. Have a Merry Christmas while you're on the job, and a Happy New Year. I'm sure we'll see one another again in the new year. With those words, I thank you, and I'll ask you to stand up as I invite the Minister of Police, Mr. Cachalia, to come on and address you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. The National Commissioner of the South African Police Service, General Masemola, the Deputy National Commissioner, General Musikidi, the Provincial...
Can we seek the Minister? Can we seek?
Yeah, please sit. Sorry, I always forget to do that because I'm not used to people standing up when I'm standing up. But I will get better. So I think I was in the process of acknowledging the presence of the Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, all the senior officers who are present, all the members of the South African Police Service of all ranks, because you are all important. Thank you for your work and your presence. This is the first time since my appointment that I am visiting this province. And I'm visiting the province as part of a national project, the Festive Season project, which is occurring throughout the country. As the National Commissioner indicated, he's in the process of visiting all the provinces to ensure that the Festive Season program is properly implemented and monitored. The two deputy ministers are in other provinces over this period, and I decided to come to KwaZulu-Natal after visiting the Northwest Province with the National Commissioner yesterday to try and address the challenges that we face with respect to illegal mining. This is a time of great joy and celebration for all of those who are going to be taking some time off with their families to celebrate, to enjoy Christmas and the New Year. But for many of our police officers, this is a time for hard work, for application, to be present at the beaches when other people are enjoying being on the beach, at other places of entertainment, in restaurants and so forth. Our job is to ensure that our people are safe during this period. Many people will be consuming too much alcohol, indulging in forms of behavior that they ought not to be indulging on at this time. And unfortunately, that means that your presence, your work, your hard work is even more needed at this time. Very shortly, the schools will be closing. In January, the schools will be opening. Those who are going to school are going to need your protection and your support. So December, January is a challenging period for the South African Police Service. But I have got no doubt that you are equal to the task. I just received a brief report from the Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, and his senior management team on the work they've been doing in the province. Indeed, we can say that as a result of the plan that they adopted and the ability of the South African Police Service in this province, under their leadership and with your efforts to execute that plan, crime levels in this province over the last year even while they remain too high, has come down significantly. And that reflects the national pattern. It wasn't so long ago that we released the national statistics, which show that what's happening in this province also reflects the national pattern. So what this demonstrates is that the South African Police Service is not in a crisis. There are men and women in blue who are engaged in the daily task of improving the safety and security of communities across this country, in all provinces, from coastline to coastline, from Cape Town to Limpopo. So the picture that emerges from the Nhlanhla Commission about policing in South Africa is important because it's going to tell us a story that is perhaps difficult to absorb and to accept. That there are areas of reform that need attention, that we need to improve the capabilities, the efficiency, and the accountability of the South African Police Service. So that commission is an important form of inquiry into what we must do in the decades to come to improve upon what we are already achieving, what we have built over the last 30 years. A South African police service functioning in a constitutional democracy, in a free society, which is what we have achieved and done over the last 30 years when it comes to safety and security. There is a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot that needs to be improved on. But we are not starting from scratch, and we are not in a crisis. So my job, working together with the National Commissioner, the Provincial Commissioners, the entire leadership, and all of you, is to work steadily, progressively, in a positive direction to improve safety and security in our country. Because we need to understand, as I think we do, that safety and security is a core concern of our people and must be at the center of the country's priorities going forward. So what emerges from the Nhlanhla Commission is going to provide us with an opportunity to focus on those questions, including questions about how to improve the resourcing of our police service. And I am committed to working with the police leadership to address those questions. Now, I was very pleased to hear the Provincial Commissioner talk about the conduct of a particular police officer. Was it in Tonga? Indeed, the Station Commissioner of Tonga provides us with a very good example. In rebuilding the trust, the relationship between the police service and the citizen, the people that we are required to serve, we have to set an example. We have to show that we have integrity, we have a professional commitment to serving the public, and that we will fight corruption and criminality everywhere, including where it rears its head in the public, in our own ranks. I have been told that young police officers sometimes find themselves the new recruits. And this year, Commissioner, it's been over 5,000, correct, for the country as a whole. Right? Which has helped us improve visibility across the country. That sometimes the recruits end up in police stations under the command of police officers who are tired now, who have become cynical, and who don't allow those young officers to function in an ethical way. That can't be right. So we have a challenge. We will face up to that challenge, but we're not going to talk ourselves into depression to create a picture that the South African Police Service is in a crisis, because that picture is also false. So it's a great honor for me. I'm asked this question, many times. How did you respond when the President appointed you? And what I need to say is I didn't hesitate, because I understand the duty and the responsibility I now have the privilege of sharing with this police leadership and with you all to improve the safety and security of our people, because our economic prosperity, our dignity, our stability, our futures depend on the work that you must do. So what greater honor can there be to be asked to serve alongside and with you to improve the safety of our people. I plan to visit the province, as I indicated to Provincial Commissioner Mkhwanazi, in the new year to discuss more carefully, in more detail, the challenges that he faces as the Provincial Commissioner and the leadership face in this province to improve safety. When I come back, I hope to be able to visit with the Premier, with the mayors, with the councillors, with the community policing forums, and with stakeholders to contribute to this process of consolidating what has been achieved under the leadership of Commissioner Mkhwanazi over the last year. So let me thank you all for the work that you're going to be doing over the festive season from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you all a happy Christmas. Even as the Commissioner was indicating, you'll be hard at work. Enjoy this period of time. Celebrate Christmas. Celebrate the New Year in uniform. Ngiyabonga.
Can we give a Minister a round of applause? Thank you so very much, Minister. Marching orders have been given by our principals, including the Minister. This marks the end of our short program. You will be requested to remain on the parade. After the singing of the national anthem, we will hand over the mic to the operational commander, Brigadier Saunders, for further deployment as we will depart from this place. Let me then hand over to our parade commander for the singing of the national anthem by our provincial band. Members will be requested to rise, remain standing. We will salute as the national anthem is sung, and after that we will then allow our principals to leave, and we will remain on the parade. Over to you, parade commander.
Attention! Parade national salute! Salute!
you so very much, Parade Commander. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, senior officers, we will then allow our principals to leave the podium and call on stage the operational commander, Brigadier Saunders, for further direction from here onwards. Thank you so very much for being a good parade. Thank you once again to the members of the media for ensuring that this is covered properly and positively. Thank you so very much, Minister.
Attention! Parade, focus on parade! Yes, please!
Come, where are your microphones, guys?
Yes. Are you taking it?
Where are the microphones?
I should have anticipated you guys are going to be here.
Some get. Some get. Yeah, but the minister, let me look.
Commander, you can let the parade stand easy. You are all requested, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, to remain quiet while the minister is on the media briefing. But you can stand easy. Thank you so much. Just remain quiet until the minister and the national commissioner is done with the media. Thank you so much.
I hope you won't hold it against me. I forgot to acknowledge the presence of the media when I was speaking. I don't know if you really want to just put questions to us. You've heard from all three of us. So I'm happy to respond to any questions that you might have.
Colleagues, 5 questions max, and then let's head to the roadblock.
Minister and your management, thank you so much for joining us. I think just first, let's just start with an overview of where you are right now. I mean, we are heading towards what would be considered the peak. Obviously, you still have the troubling issues as police that you're always dealing with. I mean, just this weekend, you saw a number of people being arrested for things like drunk driving and all of that. So, with the added resources, you're talking about more police officers on the ground, but are we really seeing the kind of tangible change that we would want to see during this period?
Yes, I think so. I mentioned, first of all, I got a report from General Mkhwanazi on the crime stats in KwaZulu-Natal. As I indicated, that reflects the national picture. The national picture is one, we should be recognizing that we have high levels of crime in this country. But over the last year, there has been a significant reduction, and I'm satisfied that the stats are accurate. A few days ago, Minister Creasy discussed in public the road safety pattern as well. And there too we've seen a significant reduction and of course improvement. So we've discussed what we can attribute this to. I think the high visibility operations that we've seen being implemented, as well as the enhanced recruitment over the country as a whole. It's in excess of 5,000, which has helped us improve visibility and so on. We're seeing the fruits of that. as I said, I also think, and I've had to form an assessment since my appointment, that there are significant capabilities at leadership level, capabilities of leadership, the ability to formulate targeted plans, to execute those plans. And so, that's what we're seeing over the last year is the result of, is evidence of those underlying capabilities in the South African Police Service.
Minister Nhlanhla from Newsroom Africa, you made mention of the Nhlanhla Commission of Inquiry and some of the discussions that are taking place there. Are you at all concerned that whatever has been revealed there, in particular we've heard about internal squabbles within the upper echelons of the South African Police Service, whether or not that has had an impact on operations such as this one and their effectiveness?
Actually, I don't think so. I think that, so I have been concerned that some of the evidence that has been led in the commission, some of it untested as yet, but there's already been the commission has obviously already come to some preliminary conclusions. There's an interim report. The evidence that has been led does suggest a pattern that is worrying. And I've been concerned that the rank and file police officer watching television, listening to this evidence that is being led, that's going to have an impact on their morale, okay? Which is one reason why I spoke about this matter today. I want the public to understand that the South African Police Service is not in a crisis. I want the members of the South African Police Service, the rank and file, to understand that we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot that is wrong that we have to put right. We have to map a reform agenda for the next decades to come. But at the same time, the South African Police Service is a functioning organization. It is carrying out its primary mandate to improve safety and security across the country. So that's my message, to the rank and file. Do your work. Carry on doing the work that you're doing. Try harder. Do your work. Act ethically. Act professionally. I think that the leadership in place, some of whom are here, are carrying out their responsibilities. So we're not just listening to all the noise. We have a job to do, and that's what we're focused on.
Have you spoken to the President about the interim report?
Not yet.
Minister, thank you so much. My name is Mkhwanazi. I work for SABC TV News.
Hi, Sipo.
The issue of gun violence, Minister, and I'm linking this to the recent mass shooting which we saw in Afghanistan a few days ago. How much of a concern is it for police, going into this festive season?
It's definitely one of the primary challenges. I have to say, when you see these mass killings, this kind of slaughtering that goes on in a tavern, the second in 2 weeks in Gauteng, it's very alarming. At this point, I don't think we have absolute clarity about the reasons and the causes. Why does somebody go into a tavern and slaughter the people who are there? So in time we will get, as the investigations continue, we will get a clearer picture. Some reports have been shared with me by the police leadership, which I think would not be right for me to kind of speculate on or to discuss for the time being in public, but because there are ongoing investigations. One message, but they don't need to hear that from me, that I have consistently conveyed to the police management, and I want also to convey publicly, is that we have to get control over the issue of gun violence. There are too many guns in this country. That's self-evidently the case. We've seen it in the gang violence. We have seen it with illegal mining. Yesterday, we again had reports from ordinary community members about their experiences. A young woman telling us that her 8-year-old was shot dead in her arms. A police officer whose husband was shot dead. So I think that's one of the main challenges faced by this country. It might be that we've got to toughen the gun laws. There may be regulatory solutions. There are awareness campaigns. There are the policing operations that take place to locate these guns and to destroy them. But obviously, the problem is continuing. So it has to be a focus going forward.
Minister, just another question from me. You come into a position or into a portfolio that really almost an entire commission is centered around, from your predecessor that is, around the issue of interference. So you walk into this role already with faced with the situation, that kind of background. So just a few questions around this. How do you navigate that space so that there isn't a repeat of what essentially led to the formation of this of the commission? So how have you been treading that area? And secondly, as a result of that, knowing the background, do you ever find yourself perhaps with your hands tied in terms of what you can do and what you can't do? Maybe if you were in this position at a different time, you might have felt more empowered to do certain things. So how do you navigate that? And just, if you allow me...
Let me take that question.
That is the last question.
So,
you said 5, that's 4.
No.
I have made it very clear from the very beginning, among my earliest statements, that we should be thinking about the Nhlanhla Commission as an opportunity. Had we not had statements that were made in public that required the President to act, the President had not acted, then the information that we need in order to understand the depth of the problem and what a reset agenda should look like, that information would not have been available. The Commission is going to help with the reset process. So one of the issues that, for instance, I'm quite sure that the Commission will focus on is how should the relationship between the person who exercises executive authority and those who run the police service, who manage the police service from the National Commissioner downwards, what should that relation, how can that be a productive relationship? So presumably they will make some recommendations in that regard. They will probably make recommendations on crime intelligence. Clearly, if we're going to deal with organized crime more effectively, and that's something that really does keep me up at night, then we've got to strengthen crime intelligence. General Mkhwanazi just reported to me that there are some vacancies in crime intelligence in this province. That makes the job much more difficult for him. Now, I think so I see the Commission as an opportunity. I've said repeatedly, this is the way democratic societies self-correct. We don't put things under the carpet. We tell ourselves the truth, and then we move forward. So I'm really looking forward to the outcomes of the Nhlanhla Commission. The Nhlanhla Commission will cast a light on the dark places, as it should. Those people who have been responsible for infiltration, for corrupting the police service, for misusing political authority, for me that is the big issue. Those people must be held to account. It's as simple as that. We need people who exercise executive authority, people who are appointed as ministers, to do that job, not any other job, not to associate with criminals, not to spend their leisure time with criminals, not to do deals with criminals when it comes to procurement. We want to make sure that if the police service enters into a contract that is aimed at promoting the well-being of our officers, that we contract with the right people to carry out that important responsibility. Instead, what happened is Mr. Nhlanhla got a contract. He's now in jail. That shows that our country is also on an accountability path. So I have got I think the President exercised some wisdom, some bold leadership in appointing Nhlanhla, and when he did so, there were a lot of critics. You don't hear the critics right now because they can see the value of this process.
Will you be writing any letters on the 31st of December?
No, I will not be working on the 31st of December. We're taking a bit of a break.
Okay, thank you, colleagues. Thank you, colleagues. Minister.
Thank you.
We can take more questions at the roadblocks.
Are you robbing us much?
Thank you.
We have to go, otherwise we won't give them time.
Are you going to the roadblock? Thank you. Yes.